Hello everybody, welcome to Action Jack Media. Today, on the 7th of October, or at least I think it's the 7th, as long as this video goes up on time, I am going to be showcasing week 1 of a little project that I like to call Omnitober. Very similar to Inktober and all the things that you see on Instagram and stuff. I've made my own month-long drawing every day challenge. Now, of course, I've gotten a head start on this, and I've done almost all of them at this point, but I'm going to be revealing them one day at a time because I felt like I wanted to. This is something that I very much enjoy, the subjectivity videos and stuff that they do, so I wanted to do the same thing. So, for Omnitober, the rules is you draw a new alien for the Omnitrix every single day based on the name alone. It can look like anything, there's no set rules for how the alien should look, only that it has to fit the name. So, without further ado, I will start the video and we will go into day 1. So, day 1 is a pretty straightforward concept. I think Octocopter is a pretty obvious name for what the alien should probably look like and should probably do. So I took that pretty literally with this drawing as well. Just an octopus that spins some of its tentacles around and flies like a helicopter. I also gave him some tentacles that dangle down so that he could use to grip onto things and lift them and, you know, maybe carry people or something like that. Maybe not the most exciting alien, especially for Ben, but we have plenty of powerhouse aliens coming up. I hope you like Octocopter. So, day 2 is Spring Loader. Pretty obvious, pretty, simple concept for these ones. They're not necessarily meant to be challenging concepts. They are meant to be a baseline for you to work off of. So spring loader can mean a lot of things. I took it very literally again and actually did spring-loaded limbs and punches, kind of like the game ARMS from Nintendo. Yeah, this guy was pretty fun. And he also kind of set the precedent for how I was going to design some of these aliens going forward with the black and white color scheme, but the green Omnitrix green eyes. I wasn't going fully classic. I was kind of doing like the Omniverse flashback versions of all of these aliens. So, yeah, I enjoy doing that style now. I think it might be the style I use for a lot of my Ben 10 aliens going forward, because I think it just kind of works. It feels pretty definitive for Ben 10. So, yeah, there's Spring Loader. Day 3 is Stank Bomb. I wanted to make a skunk alien for this one. Stink bombs can be pretty ambiguous as well, so I thought about, what's stinky? Well, there's stink bugs, which would have been another pretty obvious one. And then there's, I could have done like a gas mask thing or whatever, but I think the skunk-like alien would work because Ben already has like the werewolf and the wild mutt dog aliens, so why not have another furry animal-like creature in here? And the bulbs on his tail are meant to be removed and thrown at enemies to basically incapacitate them with stink. So, yeah. I also had a fun time designing his face on this one, giving him that kind of, slightly strange facial anatomy. He's got no nose, but he's got one ear that envelops the top of his head. So I thought that was a unique thing for him. Kind of, again, similar to Benwolf being, the strange, quad mandible mouth thing that Benwolf's got going on. So, yeah. Stank Bomb was an interesting one, and I enjoyed it. Day 4 is Lock and Load. This one I struggled with a little bit toward the beginning. I did some preliminary sketches on paper before I put him down on the digital canvas. The issue I was having with him was mostly just the fact that lock and load is gun terminology, and Ben is not really known for using gun very often. So I designed an alien that grows these bullet casings out of its body and then injects them into his own head, and then those get fired out. So the arms themselves, you can see on the left arm, is these 2 tubes that feed the metal cartridges into his own head, and then they turn into energy or whatever and get fired out. Not my best design, but I wanted to do something a little bit different than just like Alien with a gun arm or something. So I made him into a turret, a very TF2 style turret that is meant to lock down an area, and he loads these cartridges into his head. Lock and load. Fair enough. Day 5 is Ice Mage. He was a little bit of a unique one. I was taking suggestions for this list on the Ink Tank Discord, and somebody said Ice Age, and I was like, huh, that's interesting, but I don't think it's interesting enough. So I changed one letter, made it Ice Mage, or added a letter rather, and it made it Ice Mage, and that changed the entire context, and it actually kind of made him into this wizard thing that shoots beams of frost and cold air and ice and snow out of his sleeves. Very similar to Big Chill in some ways, except he wouldn't have the, like, turning intangible powers or anything like that. His main draw is that he's very precise with his ice attacks. He can specifically create either a single snowflake or an entire blizzard. Like his range is very wide for that type of stuff. So yeah, Ice Mage. Day 6 is another kind of strange one. It's Insectoid. I literally just took the word insectoid and changed one letter and made it a completely unique concept. I think that the concept for this one is pretty simple, like mixing the powers of a toad and an insect. And I made him this kind of like ladybug beetle looking thing, and I imagine him like jumping really high with his insect frog legs and then using the insect wings to float down. So he's more of a glider rather than a flyer. And of course he's got the long sticky tongue and all that stuff. Again, maybe not the most powerful or, you know, crazy cool alien for Ben to have, but you gotta have some weirdos in there, or otherwise it's not authentically Ben 10, right? So yeah, Insectoid. He's just a weirdo. Now, day 7 was the one I struggled the most with for this week. The prompt is Hypnotoise, or Hypnotus. I don't know how you want to pronounce it per se, but the first version, what you're watching right now, is one concept that I have where the spinning hypnotic projection would be on his chest, but I think it made his chest look a little too flat or even concave, which is not something that I wanted. So eventually you'll see on the second version I change it to be his shell. I changed the hypnotic projection to be like an inner portion of his translucent shell that projects outward and can cause, you know, hallucinations and mind control type stuff. Could make you go to sleep if you wanted, and I'm assuming, you know, or I would imagine that each different effect would be given by a different pattern. So elsewise, I just kind of made him look like a turtle and gave him kind of sort of humongosaur face and all that stuff, and I don't know, I like this one a lot. He turned out pretty good, and I think he would actually be a pretty powerful alien as well, very similar power-wise to like Sublimino and stuff like that. Hypnotic mind control type alien is pretty useful. And I imagine he would be pretty durable as well. So I hope you enjoyed week 1 of Omnitober. Swing on by next week to see week 2. Got some very interesting guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed this concept. I literally made all of this stuff from scratch and am trying my very damnedest to stay on schedule and to get a video up every week and do all of the prompts in this entire month. I've never fully completed a monthly draw everyday prompt thing like this. I've never made one before. This is all very new for me. I've never had to upload weekly before. So, yeah, if you really enjoy that and you want to support me for my effort, please leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. I am trying to get this channel monetized. I still have to get the watch hours and stuff, so watch this video on loop while you go to sleep. I don't know, do whatever you want. Otherwise, here's all the art on screen. You can also see all of this art on my Twitter, which is Action Jack Media. I'll put that in the link down in the description and all that stuff below. And you'll be able to see these every day as they come out and get a little bit of a better description about what the alien does and stuff. So, yeah. I hope you, again, I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks so much for watching. Happy Halloween, happy Omnitober, and I will see you next time. Peace.